Earlier this year, I just worked on and delivered a dream brand for a cafe based in Sydney, Australia. They're called Sabah, and this is the brand that we went ahead and created for them. You can see how the logos work with the typography, what the menus look like. We created custom patterns, also a set of social media templates as well, and also custom created a set of illustrations and also developed them a new website. And for the illustrations, they were able to translate that into branded merchandise like t-shirts and tote bags. And today I wanted to use this real life example to show you the full process of how to create a custom brand identity so you can follow these steps and over deliver and exceed clients' expectations every single time. I've been working design for 7 years now and almost doing brand strategy, brand identity, and web design in our studio, Empty Studio, for around 4 or 5 years now. And it's really this proven formula that's just worked for us every single time. The first thing you need to do is run a brand strategy workshop. And this is right after they go ahead and sign a contract, they pay a deposit. That is the first thing we schedule with them. And I usually schedule this with just the key stakeholders, so the founder, anyone from the C-suite, like the CEO, the CMO. For Sabah, there was 2 key stakeholders, and we just came to the cafe. If it's in person, sit around a table, I bring my laptop, and I host a 2-hour workshop. If it's virtually, I just share my screen and just run them through this process. I set it up as a Canva template. I just go ahead and present it to them. And essentially, it just walks them through why we're doing brand strategy, what it even means, to find the unique personality of the brand, to make sure it connects to their audience, to make sure we make informed decisions rather than guessing. And the end goal is to create not just a visually attractive brand, but something that's strategically effective. And I run them through all of this, but here are the key table of contents. I actually have a dedicated video breaking this all down, so I'm just going to quickly breeze through it to show you the whole process. But yeah, it walks them through vision, mission, purpose, what is the business goals, the audience, the brand personality, brand positioning, competitor analysis, and then looking at visual references to define the look and feel. And then the next step is looking at actually creating the brand and presenting the brand and logos. So a quick walkthrough. The first question I ask them is, why did you start this business? What does this brand mean to you? And it opens up a whole floodgate of conversations. You'll see the founders' eyes really light up and they dive into why they started it, and they share a lot between kind of how the brand was started, what's the story behind it, what does the name mean, and it helps you tease out a lot of those little nuggets they can use and implement into your brand directions. And then I ask them, what's the mission, what's the vision, what's the purpose, and then we create these statements that really help to ground everything. I use these little sticky notes right here, so I just facilitate, I jot down notes while they're talking. The next step is looking at the business goals, because it's very important as a brand strategist to understand where they're going, and this way you can design a brand that actually stretches and grows with them. We don't want them to go through a branding exercise again in the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years. It needs to be a brand that lasts them ideally a lifetime, and this is how you get there. You understand where they want to be in 10 years. Are they going international? Are they trying to get investment? And this helps to inform the scale of this brand. Are they going to be multinational in 10 years time? And you need to think about kind of the cultural implications, make sure it's culturally sensitive and appropriate, and most importantly, it helps to position you as a brand partner and a strategist rather than just a pixel pusher that's trying to make things look nice. There's more layers and depth to it. And then we talk about audience, and that is the key, is getting to this alignment, how we want to be perceived as a brand, but also what the customer values. And so I ask them, who are we speaking to, who's your ideal customers, and we kind of create these personas for them. And then we go into the brand personality, which is really important, and it just is these sliders right here. So we go ahead and say, where are they now on a scale of friendly to formal? Where are they now on a scale of quirky to conventional? And they can position where they see their brand as being now. And then we have the slider for ideal. So then they can see, okay, we are a bit too formal right now. We need to be more friendly. We need to be more quirky. We need to be more modern. We need to be more fun. And this way, it helps to really let them articulate where they want to go, and this way it takes a lot of the guessing out of the picture. The next step is looking at brand positioning. So brand positioning is just a discussion of where you want to occupy in the market, what makes you so distinct, which leads into the next step of understanding the competitors. And we do a competitive analysis, asking them who they think is the most competitive and what we can learn from, what we want to avoid. And then we get into the fun part of looking at visual references. So this is where I pull up a mood board that I would have collected beforehand, or I ask them to show brands that they really love. So for Sabah, they actually had a really clear idea of where they kind of wanted to go. Initially, they weren't able to articulate as much, but I was able to pull up Pinterest literally and show them a bunch of references, ask them what they liked, what they didn't like. They love the green, they love these big bold text, and it's really important to note not just what they do like, but why, and also what they don't like and why. So when you're coming up with the next step, which is the brand directions, the logos, the colors, the fonts, you already know what they're aligned to and what they think don't work well. So you can sidestep a lot of the minds, and you're creating this alignment in your head already. Then the next step is defining the brand look and feel. So we already got the visual references. Next step is showing them what is going to come out of this. So I usually create stylescapes for clients. So this is an example. Sometimes I create 2 versions, sometimes I create 3 different ones, and it's just an interpretation. It's like a mood board, the visual interpretation of what their brand will look like. And sometimes I include logos, I include fonts, so they're able to see this whole universe unravel. For this example project, I chose this third direction, and this is how it translated in terms of the actual final brand. And then so I asked them, what are the 3 descriptors that you want people to describe your brand? So they want Sabah to look and feel like cozy, fun, warm, calm, relaxing, but they chose 3 to really ground them: soulful, welcoming, and atmospheric. If people describe them as this, they'll be very happy. That's the vibe and the energy they want to exude. So you can see here for Vertica's example, they want it to be bold, inclusive, and refined. So all of these 3 options, it does convey that, but in different ways. So let me go forward in time a little bit. This was the brand style and the stylescape that we ended up creating for Sabah. This is our interpretation of soulful, welcoming, and atmospheric. After the brand strategy workshop, I go away for usually around 2 weeks to go ahead and come up with the refined brand strategy, refine the brand personas, and also design the 3 different directions. I explore logo concepts, color palettes, fonts, and really try to show them what's possible. So in this stage, I'm going away and going through Pinterest, sourcing a ton of references, and then showing them 3 different directions. This is me pulling it together. And then I compile all of this into a brand strategy and design directions presentation. So 2 weeks after that first initial 2-hour workshop, I schedule in another 45-minute or 1-hour session with the team, and I present to them this, which is a distillation of that 2-hour workshop. What's their foundation statement? What is their mission statement? And what is their vision for the future? And usually they get quite emotional and inspired at this point because they usually haven't done this exercise in this much depth before, and they really get to see their brand come to life and feel even more elevated. I remind them that always you need to think about the audience first. Whenever you're looking at the future design directions, try to filter how would our audience interpret this. So this way, when they're thinking about colors, they're not just thinking about the personal preferences, but really what's going to attract the right customers to their stores. So I came up with 3 different directions for this one, and I like to give them a name and a meaning behind it, and the 3 key characteristics or brand descriptors that's really true and unique to this one. And for the first one, it's called Solstice, which means sun stands still, which captures Sabah's rhythm from sunrise to sunset. I love to extrapolate the meaning, so it adds a bit more depth to it. Here's the color palette, here's the logo, here's the illustration style, and I also try to design up some little collateral pieces here just to see it come to life a bit more. And then the second direction called Layali, which means nights in Arabic, so it's more rich, more atmospheric, and so it has a slightly different palette. Here's what the menu could look like, and I also have these little notes embedded throughout, which is just drawing upon what the thinking and research was behind each direction. When you can explain your actions, when you can explain why you made different design choices, they tend to fall in love with the design even more and build more resonance. So it's helpful to include those, so you can just read off these prompts. And then here's what the menu looks like again, the different illustration styles and patterns, and yeah, explaining what the patterns mean, super helpful. Then the third direction is called Cheers. So usually if I'm doing 3 directions, then the third one is usually going to be slightly different and more experimental. So this one's a bit more bold and poppy. So the colors are more pastel, very bright and vibrant. And this is the end outcome. And then finally, I end on a brand rationale to kind of explain the thought, what each different direction tries to capture, the meaning behind it, and how it all stems from the brand strategy. And then I ask them to have a think about it and decide on which path makes the most sense. And then we capture all the feedback. And for this one, they loved the first 2 directions. They liked the third one, but thought it was a little bit too youthful, too poppy. They liked this kind of richness of the second direction, and they liked the playfulness of the first one. So what they end up deciding on is let's just keep both, because their cafe is very unique. They open at 7 a.m. and they end at midnight. So what we decided on doing is having direction 1 as a daytime color palette for the breakfast, brunch, lunch menus, and then having Layali, the second direction, as a nighttime color palette. Richer, more atmospheric, a little bit more sexy. So it's really fun to see all this come together. And then what I do is I ask them what's the core collateral that they want to work on. And I go ahead and revise the logos if there's any revision need be, or refine the color palettes a little bit more. For this brand, for Sabah, they didn't have any feedback in regards to the logos at all. We just needed to fine tune and consolidate all the color palettes, and it's applying them to the different marketing material that they needed. So for the package that they went with, I'll show you my packages here. I have 3 different ones. I have startup, business, and enterprise for the branding packages. They went with the middle one, which includes 3 different collateral pieces. So we end up starting with 2 menus and a coffee cup design. And then the next step, we ended up enrolling them onto a month-by-month unlimited design subscription where we can literally take care of all of it for them, from different signage to special menus. So here you can see a please wait to be seated sign that we designed for them. And also here we have special menus right here. And I help prepare all the print files for them. We deliver everything in the portal, even things like coffee bag designs. We also have paper bags, carry bags for the takeaway food items, burger boxes, plates, all of this stuff. We ended up working with them for another 2 months, and then they paused it, and then we're in the process of going to restart it for the new year. This is a really good technique if they need to extend their scope. Just enroll them on a subscription and you have more recurring income as well. But the final step of pulling it all together is delivering them the ultimate brand guidelines. And this is this document. It's like 30 pages, as you can see here. And essentially it captures all of this: the brand strategy, brand style, file formats, usage guidelines, color palettes, typography, illustrations, custom palettes, literally everything we created. It's all summed up in this document for them from the brand strategy. So this is a document that they can keep referring back to. They can share with the suppliers, the contractors, new team members to onboard them. So everybody has a go-to manual for everything Sabah, the brand style right here, and the meaning behind the brand. And I try to weave in as much mock-ups to show them the brand in real world applications, which gets them really excited every single time, show them the logos, the meaning behind the logos, all the different variations, and explaining the file formats that I deliver. And I'll show you right here all the different file formats I deliver, everything nicely organized. You can see if we go back here, there's a button to the brand assets drive, and this just opens up to a Google Drive folder where I uploaded everything from the fonts, the logos, all the illustrations. You can see if I click into logo, it's all organized here, all the different logo types in all the different logo file formats, and they can refer to the brand index and specs to see how to use all of them. So the primary logo, what different color combinations they get access to, and there's this little breadcrumb here so they can easily find it in their Google Drive. And here's all the different variations, mock-ups, usage guidelines, image guidelines, and this really helps if they have an internal marketing team of how to use all the different graphics, the layouts. And the color palette, of course, super important. And then also their typography, how the hierarchy works, how that translates to the website, all the illustrations that we created, and this is constantly expanding as well as we develop more for them, custom patterns as well, and the social media banners as well that we help set up across all of their profiles. Finally, we have a little thank you page that shares my contact details and also all the other things that we can help them with. And this is a super helpful tip to include a page like this. You won't believe the amount of times where I worked with a client and they worked with other businesses or contractors or suppliers or team members that they had to refer to the brand guidelines for different things, but they saw that it's Annie from MT Studio who designed this brand. So when they're thinking about doing a rebrand for their business, or they went to a new company that needs a rebrand, they remember back to this document and they have my contact details. So I've had a lot of inquiries, a lot of new projects come in just because they knew that we designed the brand. They loved the brand guidelines, how detailed it was, and they wanted the same approach for their rebrand exercise. So that's a super handy tip. And for the brand guidelines, I highly recommend you actually tailor it to their brand. So this is all their brand fonts, their brand colors, and it just helps to make it feel really uniquely theirs. I send this through in an email to thank them. I'd highly suggest you to book a call to actually present this brand guidelines to them, because it's probably the most fulfilling moment in the whole journey of them seeing their brand come to life. You tie it up all neatly in a bow and you finish the conversation on this last slide saying, hey, anything else you need, we're here. We have the unlimited design subscription. So it's a perfect conversation, if you haven't yet already, to segue them into potentially a long-term relationship. That is what I've done with so many of my clients, because you really only need 2 or 3 clients paying you $3,000 or $4,000 a month to reach consistent 10K a month. So that is my business model. Start them on a transformation project, a brand transformation, and then enroll them on an unlimited design subscription. That's pretty much it. If you're super curious about how that works, I'm actually running a free live upcoming workshop called the 10K Masterclass, and I walk you through behind the scenes of exactly how I set up my business, how you can get started on that as well if you want to get more consistent sales, get more consistent leads coming in the door, so you're not always feeling the stress of feast and famine. I guide you through everything. So scan the QR code on the left if you are curious, and I'd love for you to join us live. At the end of the day, the whole process is super simple. It usually takes me 1 to 2 months depending on the scope of the deliverables, and I'm also going to film more dedicated videos to every single step in this process to guide you through in further detail. If you found this video helpful, I know you're also going to love this one on the left right here. If you prefer listening on the go, we also have a podcast version called the Brand Creator Podcast. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.